everyone, and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade, the Transylvania Chronicles, here on Dork Tales. I'm your storyteller, Kelly, and I am here to welcome you into Act 2 of the Transylvania Chronicle. I'm excited to be here. I use he and him as my pronouns, and I am joined by this awful cast of miscreants to my left that between them don't even have probably 11 points of humanity. Let's see how fast they can hop in that handbasket to hell, but before they do that, let's meet them, starting with Robin. Pardon me one sec. Boop. It did not. There we go. All right, starting with Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns. I am second gen gamer in the chat. And tonight I am very excited to be reprising again after a little bit of a break. Tereza Dinescu, our Void Zemisi of the group. And yeah, she's been up to some stuff over the past 100 and whatever years. So she still has her box, which I love to taunt the audience with.
I bet you do. I also love to taunt the audience with Chris.
Oh, hello. I'm not sure how you taunt the audience with me, but let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm Chris. Use he, him, or they, them pronouns. I go by Blogg in the chat. Hello, thank you for joining us tonight. And I'm playing Rainald, the excommunicated priest, La Sombra.
It is true. And down beneath you, he's got his eye on you. It's Kal.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kal. I use he, him pronouns, and so does Bastien, the Salubri Watcher cast. I've missed all of you.
I missed you too.
It's been a while.
We got him doing it now. Great.
Yeah. I listened to that song while I was grocery shopping today. Unapologetically, unironically.
It was on the oldie station?
It was my YouTube mixtape. So it's like, you would like this. And I'm like, God damn it, you're right. And it's exciting to get the gang back together again. And I'm actually really happy with the indecision and how I ended up getting the eye done.
I like it. Now you just got to do it every week for the next 50 weeks.
This took that I cut off the prosthetic, and this took less time than all the other things, the other options. So
well, that's even great. That's greater. You know what else is good at cutting body parts off? It's Jen.
Only sometimes, but I take pride in my work. I'm Jen, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Alëna Fyodorov, or Alëna, because she gave herself her last name, so what does that matter? And she is our gangrel, and not terribly human in many ways, more ways than one.
It is absolutely...
Let's be in the non-human club!
All right, so before we begin, I have to do a big thank you to our sponsor, Bookwyrm Games. We would not be here without them. They have been incredibly supportive of all of our World of Darkness fun, and in fact are the people you can go to right now to get World of Darkness inspired gemstone dice. Right now I'm holding one of the Mage the Ascension Amethyst dice. As you can see, it is gorgeous. And Robin is using some of the Sabbat inspired Bloodstone dice. Not dies. Dice from Bookwyrm Games. They are absolutely worth the price if you can afford them. They're great anniversary presents or Christmas presents, and you can save 15% on them if you use code DorkTales. Not only that, but those prices are in Canadian, folks, so just knock like 30% off if you're shopping from the States. And remember, these dice definitely are above their free shipping cap, and that's worldwide free shipping. Whether you're in the Carpathian Mountains or just in Idaho, you can go ahead and get a pair of dice shipped to you if you spend 100 Canadian or more. Go ahead and go to Bookwyrm Games today and buy some dice, feel nice, and while you're there, you can even pick up some tea, some familiar friends, or some jewelry. They're a really good company, and they keep the lights on around here. And if you want to keep the lights on...
I'm waiting for Krista to send me my familiar from that they got picked up to... I want it.
You want it. Their customer service is great. But if you want to also help keep the lights on here, please consider joining the Patreon at patreon.com/dorktales, where you can help not only keep the lights on, but keep the internet working around here and help pay for like costumes and art and all sorts of really cool stuff. And also for me to eat because I enjoy it. I try to do it several times a day. I'm a little, it's habit forming, really. And I am trying to get, we're trying to break 200 patrons this year. So I'd love to see you over there. Consider it. We have a ton of World of Darkness content. We have a Technocracy game that airs about once a month, maybe sometimes occasionally more. We have a Strixhaven game. Soon Kal is going to run Descent into Avernus, where we get to all go to hell together. And there's going to be a lot more content there, like Alien and some other games that I can't mention right now. But consider it. It's a great way to support the channel, and it's only a few bucks a month. We're better than Netflix. That's all I got to say about that. So consider it. I would love you very much, and help us get those numbers pumped up, because if we get those numbers high enough, we'll run some really weird stuff. So besides that, does anybody have any questions? It has been a long time since we played. We had to take a couple weeks off because I needed extra time to prep, and then my dog was sick. My dog still is kind of sick, but he's an idiot, so he's fine. So does anybody have any immediate questions that won't be answered through play?
I do.
Yes.
At the end of the last act, we were we had all mostly gotten blood bonds. Are
Yes.
those still active?
Ooh, good question.
They
Would they be?
technically die off if they're only at one point. They fade away, but they might have been re-upped, so I figured we should ask.
Yeah, that's a
Yours
good
has
question.
not. Alëna's has not.
Okay.
Bastien has.
Has what?
Your blood bond to Adrojai is still in effect. You're 1 point.
Oh, he's my mentor.
Yeah.
I'll suck him. I'll suck him off if he wants. Doesn't matter.
All right. His blood, that is. Tereza, you are still 1 point bloodbound to Micah Vikos. And Chris will get to Rainald in a little bit.
Okay. For both
What? For both?
blood bonds?
Oh, yes. Wait. Who were you bloodbound to at the end of last game? You're the...
Micah won, and
Oh, it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will roll one for Micah. Not for Micah anymore.
okay.
But definitely the other guy.
Definitely that other one. And my second question was, can we assume full blood pools, or are we going to talk about that?
You can assume full blood pool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask everyone here you're going to roll me a d10 and add your herd to it and domain.
Jeez. Okay.
Okay.
Ruh-roh. So D10 it is.
I was gonna add domain. Oh, I got 12. What does that
Okay.
mean?
That means you're at 12 out of, I believe, 20.
20? Ooh,
20,
that's a bit
yeah.
low. All right.
So you're about half mast.
Yeah. So
Oh, I
got
rolled
about
a
11.
D8. Whoops. Wait, can I keep my
Does it
D8
help
roll?
you?
No.
Oh.
Here comes the one.
Yeah, I rolled a 7 on a D8, and I'm like, you know what? That's better than what I'm going to roll on this D10.
10.
6.
I got a 9, and sorry, you said it was herd
Herd and domain.
and domain. Oh,
Yeah.
I think I have that now.
You probably do.
Yes.
6 it is.
All right.
I'm at
So
thirsty.
that is basically to explain that you have been traveling and are going to be a bit malnourished. Tereza,
If we're starting where we're starting.
you
I'm
have been
home, baby.
otherwise occupied.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Don't
I was
cut
just
me off. I was in the middle of explaining it.
Sorry.
I was gonna say you have been otherwise occupied preparing for your guests.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, any other questions aside from unrelated to blood? Is there anything else that vampires really care about? Nah.
No,
Okay.
I was gonna say that's all.
All
I'm
right.
What level are we again?
You guys are, well, everybody else is level 7, but you're a level 9 vampire.
Hooray. Wait.
Yeah.
It's
Boo.
golf
Wait,
rules.
that's the wrong direction.
That's the wrong direction.
No, it's golf
We're
rules.
going the wrong way.
It's golf rules.
Oh,
I've never heard
okay.
it described like that, but yeah.
It is
fits.
golf rules.
It is.
Is Kane a golfer? He's probably a golfer.
He probably invented it.
He is
Yeah.
now.
Kane's Scottish. It's all proven. Hey, you, get off Enoch's land.
Oh my god.
Oh my
It's
God.
canon now.
You, get
Yeah,
in
it's
my
canon.
belly. He's
Get
just
in
fat
my
bastard.
belly.
Your blood get in my belly.
Well, how do you think he has a blood pool of 100? That's why he's so big.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Kane
he's
is
short.
fat bastard. Confirmed.
But he's short. He's short because he was pre-industrial or agricultural revolution.
Oh god,
weak.
all he ate was
He was
Like-
paleo.
yeah.
Literally paleo.
He didn't have a choice.
He didn't have a choice. It wasn't like he could
Joke
walk
of the
down
week.
to the
Joke of the
7-Eleven.
week. Play the joke of the week, Siren.
Woo, woo, woo. All right. Folks, it is time for us to head into the Transylvania Chronicles. Are y'all ready? Let's do it. It has been more than a century since the events that brought you together there at the Tahuta Pass. You've weathered so many things since then. The invasion of the Mongol hordes, the death of Bela the Fourth, the loss of the Eastern Land's control. For a time, even the pass itself, now known as the Borgo Pass, or Burkow Pass, has been compromised. Now, 116 years of strife, 116 years of blood. Each of you now is nearly twice as old as you ever would have been had you lived a normal life. And each of you is many, many times older than you were when you were given the embrace. It has been years since you have seen many of your allies. Anatole and his companion, Usita, have not been seen in some time, and Micah Vikos has, well, written to each of you several times over the past few decades from his home in Constantinople, and has even visited Tereza once or twice. However, all is not well in Transylvania. In the past 2 years, terrible weather patterns have devastated much of the land. Blizzards, windstorms, floods, droughts, and landslides have all served to make farming and husbandry risky at best. It has been enough that you have found your herds thin, malnourished. And even for the undead, it has been a time of recession. However, you've noticed change. The death and weather patterns in the countryside have been driving more and more of the peasantry into the cities, which in turn has changed commerce. More and more people are finding work in skilled or semi-skilled trades. The merchant guilds, well, merchants are beginning to form into guilds. Their power is growing. And some of you, with points of seneschal, may realize it is not just a few select people that will control the flow of capital soon. However, that is not why you are here tonight. After a dreadful winter, spring has finally returned. And the three of you, Rainald, Alëna, and Bastien, have been summoned to meet with Tereza at her castle, her home, where she is now prince at Kronstadt. There? Well, are we calling it Kronstadt or Brasov? Which do you prefer, Tereza? For it is both the same. It will become, further down the line, officially, not just Kronstadt, but Brasov.
I have Kronstadt in my notes right now, so I think for now, Kronstadt would be.
All right. You summon your allies to you at Kronstadt. For the last time that you spoke with your ally Zelios, the master builder who helped construct your haven at Kronstadt, you remember him ranting, muttering, and fretting about a Slavic demon named Kupala. A demon whose influence on Transylvania, he believes, has plunged the land into centuries of chaos and conflict. One of your allies recently discovered an ancient book that mentions this demon, and you arranged for its purchase and for it to be delivered to your stronghold. You have invited your allies to come and explore the book's secrets with you, and invited Zelios as well, although there's no reason that you three, well, and I suppose Alëna if she decides to read the book, but the lot of you can't get together and flip through it before Zelios arrives. There's no harm in that, is there? And so that is where we will begin our tale. On the day, the evening, of your arrival. Outside of Kronstadt, among the hillsides, among the forests, a leather-covered wagon rocks on pitted road. The night is calm, and overhead ravens circle, and bats fly through the air, devouring their late-night snacks. In the front of the carriage, a pair of men sit, rocking back and forth as the carriage sways. The horses pull with surprising strength, even though the carriage is well laden. Were one to look inside, they would see that there is a long casket inside of its bed. The man holding the reins in the front is well armored, but keeps his weapon and the shine of that mail hidden beneath a cloak. Next to him sits a priest, a monk. Carl turns to you, Rainald, your steadfast ghoul. We should be there soon. I know this trail from the last time you had me deliver a missive.
Excellent. Thank you, Carl.
Of course. You still have kept Carl. What level retainer is he now?
He's at a level 2.
Okay. And have you made plans to embrace him?
Probably been thinking about it. Little nervous after what happened
the
to
last time.
poor
Yeah,
Felix.
fair.
Though I've been successful other times, I'm sure. So it's you know what, I want Carl to find a suitable replacement.
Fair. That sounds good. Carl lashes the horses to kick them further into gear. And you find yourself pushing into a copse of wood. Along this forest trail in the distance, you can see the edges of Kronstadt's walls. And you remember the last time that you spent time inside of a castle. It was many years ago. Shortly after you had completed the building at the Tahota Pass, you found yourself in immense cathedral. It was completely clear of worshippers, and a tall, well-appointed man stood and looked down on you from the inside of a voluminous black robe. This was your long-awaited meeting with the Court of Blood. He spoke to you in Latin, his words echoing off the halls. Rainald von Eggenberg. Child, of Lisetta Illuminata herself. As he spoke, 2 other hooded figures stepped into the view of the candles. Why have you brought us here? Why have you summoned the Court of Blood? What is it that you petition us for? Blood of shadows.
Thank you for meeting me. I have long been told and regaled of stories of how we respect power and strength, and that this Court of Blood is a tradition that was created to make sure that we keep our clan strong. I wish to petition the court for the destruction of the weakest link that I have found within our clan.
And who would this link be, child?
My sire. What has she done of note? I would go so far as to even say the most auspicious thing that she has done was my embrace. She was merely a dalliance of a greater kindred who unfortunately is no longer with us. Since his fall, what has she done? all she does is seeks to undermine everything around her, and she even fails to do that. This woman masquerades as she has done nothing. She has seized nothing. And everything that she does fails. What's more, she is weak. And I have proof that she is weak.
And what proof do you have?
If I'll snap my fingers, and I'm assuming Felix was alive at this point.
Felix and Carl are both beside you. This is, God, 90 years ago?
Oh. And they will bring in the coffin and open it up and kick her torpor staked form down on the ground. And I will just look at them and I'll say, I did this with no help from others. And I guarantee you, if her blood is not brought back into a more worthy kindred, that the next time I meet her, I might not be able to ensure that it is regained. I am willing to take what I want, but show respect to our ways, which is why I am here tonight.
A female voice speaks from the rightmost hooded figure. You say that Lysetta has done nothing in her time as Cainite. And yet she has embraced you. She has gifted you with life. Are you to say that you are a mistake?
As I said, I think that's the one good thing that she has done. The one thing of note. Am I wrong? How many of you knew her name before tonight?
Of course. I know the name Lysetta. I know her sire, Juan Antonio Ramirez y Alvarez de Santiago. As you would do well to know your grandsire. You are ambitious. That is good. It is most laudable toward the future of our blood that young Cainites like yourself are willing to seize the world by the throat. But you are still a child. And should you drink and murder and taste the red flower of your sire, you will be hunted by your grandsire and all of his allies, of which there are many, my boy. Chris, can you do me a favor? I would absolutely love it if you could do me a favor and roll me a manipulation and politics roll.
Manipulation and politics. I'm going to spend a willpower.
Sounds good.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty on this? This is going to be... Give it to me at 9.
At 9? Okay. And does...
The willpower will work.
Pardon?
The willpower will, of course, work. And you're about to ask about your specialty?
The aura of confidence, manipulating and leadership.
Yes.
Okay, that'll be 3 then.
3 successes. Fantastic. Just one moment, please. So that is going to be, so she has influence 2, she has politics, and she has intelligence. Okay. Or not intelligence, yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm going to spend a drama bomb because I got one.
Nice.
The trio of the Court of Blood look down at you. However, you are hungry. You are very, very ambitious. We like this. We approve of this. As such, no penalty shall be levied against you for your attempted matricide. You will hereby remove that impediment of wood from your mother's breast and return her to us, and you will be forgiven. No penalty shall come from her. No enemies shall hunt you. This shall be a youthful indiscretion. And we would advise you to remember, we are a family. And families have long memories. Do you understand, nephew? Remove the stake.
Thank you for your time. And I will remove the stake from her.
She gasps. Are you quite all right, Lucetta? Yes, she says, taking in a gasp of air that you can hear rattle around inside of her punctured lungs. I heard what was said. I will allow my dear, sweet boy to take his leave of me with no penalty. She looks up at you, and with a sickening sweetness, she takes your cheeks in her cold, dead hands. And gives you a light kiss on the forehead. But as she lowers her face, still holding your cheeks, her hands like blinders beside her own face, she bats her eyes at you, giving you a wink. And you both realize that the Court of Blood has no idea what you've actually done. One thing is for certain. As you leave that gathering, you will never have to worry about Lucetta ever again. As you come back to, you find yourself approaching the town in the distance. Tereza's castle towers above the wall. Well, many castles, many buildings inside of Kronstadt. This is a place of Templars, after all. At least it was before their fall. But as you press forward, you can't help but notice, lying in the fields next to the castle, some 400 or 500 meters back, are skeletal cows, lying in the middle of the fields. And even from here, you can hear the flies buzzing and gorging on their eyes. You ride up to the front wall. The night watchman is standing outside, giving a bit of business to another pair of travelers who have come late in the evening. One is a girl in the prime of adolescence. 13, 14? Long black hair cascades down the back of her cloak, which is a bright, bloody red. And standing next to her, a father, a protector, is a man dressed in chainmail, with a soldier or crusader's mantle, hood hanging from his head. "Look, I don't care. No one gets in here after dark," the watchman says to you, Bastien. "Without proper business. So tell me who you are and why you are here."
Do I recognize this gentleman?
No, he's just honestly, he's wearing hand-me-down armor that doesn't fit him properly. I mean, mood, right? But as you are looking at him, you see he is holding a long boar spear in his hands and is holding a torch in the other, that he's getting dangerously close to your face. Next to you, the girl you're traveling with reaches forward and stumbles slightly. I'm sorry, I'm very clumsy," she says, tossing herself onto the ground and putting herself between you and the dancing flame. "Pick up your girl." "What business do you have inside of the walls of Kronstadt?"
Oh, business of the utmost importance. I've been summoned by Lady Tereza.
Am I supposed to give two fucks about who this is? You're talking about the withered old witch?
Interesting choice of words. Lena, my dear, is anyone else around?
No, Papa.
Take him, but do not kill him.
What? And, okay, one moment, please. Cool. So that's strength. And does she specialize in melee or brawl?
Melee.
Okay. So, as you say, but don't kill her, or don't kill him, you see under her cloak, she has something in her hands that you know to be a long serrated knife that she drops, letting it fall on the end of the thong that is attached to her belt, and instead reaches back and grabs a sap. And that is going to be a called shot. Wow, that's a really bad roll. But she has 2 more dice for this. I rolled a lot of ones. She is going to lash forward out with this short piece of wood, a sap that's about the size of a short sword, and is going to hit the side of this man's bucket helmet so hard it is going to spin completely around. There's going to be a spray of blood as the sound of cartilage snapping echoes across this little tiny bridge that you find as it crushes his nose to the side of his face, and he is going to stumble backwards, not unconscious because she rolled real bad on her attack roll. I need an initiative roll from all of you, and Rainald and Carl. Okay, that is his roll. That is Lena's roll. Okay. All right. So, Lena has that is a 9 for Lena. Then the guard has a 7. Do you want to roll for Carl, Chris?
Sure. Rainald got 12.
Okay. And what did you get, Bastien?
What is added to the D10?
Your dex and wits combined, the total.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
celerity if you have it.
Oh yes, and celerity is always an ambient.
18.
Okay.
Do specialties count? Like
If you have a
lightning
specialty that
reflexes?
is, yes, that would count.
So that's
that
a
10 would
second
reroll.
roll.
Yes.
Oh, that's 10, 16, 17, 18. Oh,
18?
no, 19. 19.
Okay.
Forgot about his celerity.
All right. Rainald, then Bastien. So Rainald, you're probably about 50 meters back at this point.
Oh, that's Carl.
Oh, that's Carl's.
Yeah.
Oh, balls. Okay. So
Walk, Carl, go.
So I have Carl, Bastien, then I have Rainald, Lena, and Hans, the guard, who is about to not have a very good day. Carl is going to turn and look at you as he smacks the horse reins a bit more. Master.
Get close, but don't interfere yet.
Yeah. And kicks the horses into gear. They are going to approach and are going to get you about, I'm going to say they can probably move about, at a good clip, probably about a little over half the distance. You're about 20 meters away by the end of this because the horses are just kind of clip-clopping. Bastien, it is your turn. The man is grabbing at his nose. He's about to start making noise. What do you do?
Oh. Well, one must adapt. And I'm just gonna pick him up by the throat.
Okay. Now, as you were here, you were on a small... It's not quite a drawbridge. There is a slight moat around Kronstadt. I don't know if there actually is one or ever was one, but there is in this game because I want there to be one. Around it, you are not on a drawbridge because we're still working on those, but you are on a small merchant bridge with a portcullis Actually, it wouldn't even have a portcullis right now. They don't have the money for that. So a large gate behind you. So there is like a moat on either side of this, and it's about 15 feet wide, enough that 2 carts might be able to pass if they're thin enough. You go to grab him by the throat. Go ahead and make me a dex and brawl roll at a difficulty of 5, because he can't dodge you. He's blinded right now by his own helmet, and probably by pain and blood.
All right. Oh, difficulty 5. Ooh. Ones detract in the system, don't they?
They do. Otherwise, Lena would have had a lot more successes. I rolled 5 ones.
I rolled 5, 6, 7, 1, 1.
5, 6. That's still 1 success. All right. You grab him by the throat as your action. You have grappled him. All right. And Rainald. As the carriage draws closer, you see a man come into view, grab him by the throat, and Bastien, can you do me a favor? As you are there, the torch is very close to you. I need you to make me a courage roll at a difficulty of 5.
Hey, he's got some courage.
Yeah, you do.
Ooh. 4 successes.
Okay, so you are going to be fine being that close to the fire. Rainald, the fire is going to illuminate the side of Bastien's face, and you're going to see your old friend for the first time in more than a decade.
Oh, Bastien. Do you need any assistance?
No. His breathing is already slowing down.
Papa, you said not to kill him. Lena
Right.
says to you. Maybe the man deserves a swim? He smells like he could bathe.
He also does not strike me as someone who can swim, especially in this.
Well, that's in
And I'll
God's
just wait
hands.
I'll wait for him
Okay.
to kind of not quite die, but stop struggling.
All right, so what we're going to do is I want you to give me a clinch roll. So you can go ahead and roll strength. Do you have potence? You do not.
I don't.
We need to
I
give you some
don't.
potence.
I need to get some potence up in here.
Okay, he is going to roll to soak. Oh, actually, he's pretty hardy.
Damn. Oh, I didn't get anything.
Okay, so you're going to start squeezing his throat, and he is going to struggle, and out of the corner of your eye, you are going to see him raise the torch to swing it at your face, only to see a small pale hand grab him by the wrist and go, "No." As Lena holds his arm with the strength of probably 2 men.
More than me.
Yeah, she works out.
2 men or 4 bastions, to be exact.
4 bastions. And with that, oh god. Oh god. Hold on, I have one more dice to roll. Okay, so I have to ask you, what level of Lena is what level of retainer again? She is 4 or 3?
I need to go back and watch the episode where we did, because a viewer is sure that she's 5, but
She's
I
not
thought
5.
she was 4.
She's
4
not
then.
5, so she's 4, which means that she has exploding 10s. Cool. You know what? She's gonna bonk him. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 successes on the bonk. I'm not gonna
That's
bother
bonk.
rolling for. I'm not gonna bother rolling for damage.
It's a good bonk.
There is the sound of a kong as the sap connects with the side of the helmet, and he goes limp in your hands. Got him that time.
Good work, Lena. I think this will, when he gains consciousness, he will be a good gift to Lady Tereza. Especially if we ask him how he referred to her.
We're heading to see Lady Tereza ourselves. Would you care, like a ride the rest of the way? It'd be good to catch up.
Oh. Rainald. Oh, thank you. Oh, do you mind? And I pass him the body.
Oh, absolutely! Just load it right into the wagon.
I will take care of him later, Master. Carl says to you.
A gift for Lady Tereza, I believe Bastien was intending.
Yes. I will dispose after. Perhaps we should make our way to her abode.
Swiftly, no doubt. Lena, have you been keeping up with your reading?
I read all sorts of things, sir.
Oh, you know which reading I mean.
The Gnostic Dialogues? Socrates? The works of Abazin Azur?
The Holy Bible.
Yes, of course. That offshoot of fiction. Following the Torah. You should see your face. Of course, Uncle Rainald. I have read the words of Christ.
I see you have not lost your fire. That's good. That's good. So, tell me, what have you two been up to the last decade? Has it been?
Well, we've only just reconvened, but Lena's been my voice in Albia Julia in my absence.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been walking the walk
And talking the talk.
to see. Oh, not yet. I'm not quite there yet. To see if I can find answers in blood.
It all comes back to blood, doesn't it?
And as you say that, the wagon rolls over the blood stain left by the guard. and heads inside the walls of Kronstadt. However, there's a reason that there are not many guards on duty tonight. But just because the guards aren't on duty doesn't mean that someone isn't watching your approach. From the walls, you will hear, if you pay attention, a call as a bird takes to the sky and flies inside of a nearby stone keep. Not the main castle, but a nearby manse. It flies through the window and lands on the edge of a comfortable, deep sitting chair next to a distant and well-gated fireplace. Polnock lands, scratches at the side of your, we'll say, throne, Tereza, and begins cooing and cawing at you. With your animalism, you are easily able to hear that two of your allies have arrived.
Thank you, Polnock. It is time to host again. I have missed us all being together again. Shall be a wonderful reunion. How far away did you say they were? Oh, just to the gate.
Out of the corner of your eye, a handsome young man waits in attendance. He is dressed in plain but expensive black linens, fresh dyed, a vest of supple doe skin atop it. His boots are meticulously shined, his hair dark and hanging in his handsome face. One of your newest servants, Philippe, stands nearby, waiting whatever orders you would like to give him.
She will snap her fingers.
My lady?
We are having guests approaching. See to it that the welcome party is away, Philippe.
Yes, of course. He pauses for a moment, enough that you catch something in his disposition that raises your eyebrow. Yes, at once, my lady.
What is the matter?
I am not Philippe. I'm Emilian. Philippe is my uncle.
Oh. My mistake. I am so sorry. You look so much like your uncle.
Thank you, mistress. I hope to serve as well as Philippe. It will be done.
Thank you.
With that, he will rush out, just in time for the door to open, and you hear the sound of cooing. Look at you, Emilian. A low and more confident than it was all that time ago voice says, "You look absolutely shocked." The voice speaks in your native Transylvanian tongue and dialect. Your mistress's guests are coming. You should hurry. Yes. Of course. Great-grandmother. There is a small kissing noise over your shoulder. And your servant, Clara, enters the room. Mistress, everything is ready. The book has been transported as well and is ready for perusal.
Wonderful. Are the
Yes,
appetizers ready?
absolutely, my lady. As per your request, I have acquired one of each. And should your guests remain hungry afterwards, I have arranged for seconds if needed.
You have come so far, my darling Clara. I but have to think of what I want, and you've already taken 2 steps ahead of me.
It is my role to take care of you.
Of course. And I would trust no one else.
I am by your side forever.
That you are. Now, we must decide on my dress that I'm going to greet them in. I need something to show my status and my wealth, but I do not want to show off too much.
I hope you wouldn't mind, my lady. I have already picked out several dresses, but might I suggest red?
It is the family colors.
Yes, it is, Mother. And Clara smiles and takes you to dress you, passing by the many servants throughout the halls that you recognize. Cesar, Nicoletta, Soren, Eugene, Anka, Stefana, Ramona, Olivia, Daria, Dennis, and more. Your house is full of life and other things as well. As you get dressed, you hear a voice bellow from the main chamber. "My lady!" Dominic calls up. "Announcing Sir Rainald and Sir Bastien and their entourage." To the rest of you, this Transylvanian dialect sounds a bit rough, a bit brusque. But it bounces off the inside walls of this manse with a comfort. Tereza, can you please describe what the entryway of your manse looks like?
Yeah, so the entryway is quite a big lobby area that foyer where it has beautiful carved stonework, very open and vast, and hanging on display are various pieces of art and tapestry and just armor and just a ton of display of wealth and growth that Tereza has come from. She has silks and statues from just all over, and a stairway that is at the far end of it, and at the landing of the staircase before, because it does like a little like two stairways come at the bottom, and then there's like the landing where the two main stairways go down to the main. There is this gorgeous everything was hand woven back then, but you can see that so much time and effort has been woven into this family tapestry of Tereza's, and that is her showpiece at her manse. And just glittering jewels and candelabras are just sconces are just glistening, and fanciful rugs lining, so it's open and vast that your voice echoes, but when your feet are walking on the ground it's almost muted as well. So it's just this dichotomy of being open and loud but then soft when you're walking. It's just and just doors going off on the side to rooms that are just closed or locked, and you can hear off, and then it's darker than like what normal maybe people would have. She likes the dark in the night, and there's just this sense of there's something more going on, but not quite knowing what happens.
And it is there that you will meet and greet your guests. Bastien, Rainald, and their two companions. The girl has grown a bit. Bastien must have allowed her to age a bit between ghoulings. But Carl, Or is it Felix? You can't keep them straight. The servant that still stays with Rainald is, well, the same age he ever was, if perhaps a bit paler. They stand in your entryway.
Welcome to my humble abode. It seems, I have been graced. It is welcome to see you both here. I trust your journey went well.
Yes, the journey was quite good. It is so wonderful to be in your presence again, my friend. Thank you.
As Tereza begins to walk down into the antechamber, the torchlight, what little there is going to catch her, and both of you are going to see her shadow swell on the wall behind her, with long, thick, shadowy tendrils rising out of it, as if some type of subaquatic creature. As if she had tentacles writhing from her flesh, casting such a shadow. And as she walks toward you, the shadows stretch out as if they want to touch you.
My lady, it's been... It's been... At least... It's been too long.
It has been too long, yes, I think we should keep these absences not so long that we forget. After all, when we live as long as we do, it's hard to remember.
Or find companions that you can rely on.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Lena,
A domain.
Yes.
Lady Dinescu, it is a pleasure and an honor to be in your humble abode.
Bastien has taught you manners, or do you still remember from my lessons all those years ago?
It has not been that long for me, and I remember your lessons dutifully taught. My lady.
What a beautiful tapestry. It's a marvelous work.
Thank you. I have done a lot of work on it.
I can tell. It's featured quite prominently. You must be very proud. As you should
I
be.
am incredibly proud. The Dinescu line will be the next greatest, is my hope.
It pleases me, my lady. Even though we have died, that your family flourishes so, and that you can be with them. And
Yes.
flourish indeed.
Yes, I think, depending on how long you are all staying, I don't think you've met the latest. And they are quite let's just say they are getting to the point where I'll have to be thinking about another round, so they can show off their gifts and their talents for you.
Oh, for welcoming us, I have, well, I guess 2 gifts. One was an impulse on the road, but the other, Lena, do you have that small chest?
I do. Oh,
Can you?
you mean the box? Yes. One moment. She turns and grabs a large coffer from your traveling gear and holds it out.
I see it as casting. Well, it may not be much to you, but it's some of my plunder from the heathen lands, including written works that I cannot read, but I chose not to burn because
Bastien.
I thought maybe you would. Well, here, and I'll have Lena open it.
She opens it, and inside is as Bastien speaks.
Bastien, you spoil me. These will make a fine addition to my library. Plus, I have a new student who needs help with reading, so these might be good to help teach. I want to hear everything about your escapades plundering the heathen lands when we have the time for it, but I shall live vicariously through your adventures. I thought you would give me the itch to get back out there, but I've been mostly working on my home.
I can see that. And Lena, you can pass. Who's at Tereza's side?
It is
Was
Dominic.
it? Lena, can you pass this to Dominic?
Of course, Papa. Here you are, Dom. Thank you for the gift. As he says that, a door will open deeper in the bowels of the manse, and you will see someone who looks very much like Dominic standing there. My lady, dinner is served.
Thank you.
Were there supposed to be 4?
Yes. She is late, but she better not be too late.
We transition through the window framing Tereza. Once again in the skies above Kronstadt. Wind whips everywhere. And the only sound are the sound of birds and wind. As a raven flies through the air, the largest raven that you may have ever seen. Its beak is red with blood from a recent meal. And as it flies through the air, a second, smaller raven flies into view. It approaches, cawing. Alëna, your animalism will easily translate this. You will recognize the plumage and distinct accent of Polnock, Tereza's ghoul. He caws at you, greeting you. Welcome. Territory. Welcome. Mistress, waiting. Come?
Soon.
Fly together. Together fly.
Fly together. Show me territory.
Many roost. Many place to watch. Many place to collect. Many food.
Many food.
Can you go ahead and please...
Yeah, I'm
please.
gonna fly. I was gonna say I'm gonna try and fly around just to scout kind of the general city and everything.
I would like you to make me a perception plus investigation roll at a... Give it to me at a difficulty of 6, but you can add 2 dice to it for being in Raven form.
I cannot.
Oh, you cannot.
I don't have investigation.
Oh, you don't have investigation. Then in that case, give me, we'll say alertness then.
Okay, cool. Did you want to still give me that bonus or no?
Yes, because you're in bird form, so you have bird senses.
Cool.
And I need to know, are you using Eyes of the Beast as well to see through the darkness? So you are a raven with glowing red eyes, flying through the air over town, creating urban legends. All right. Sorry, can you say that again? You warbed.
All right. You... Nope. Apparently I stalled or something.
Yeah. Ping's acting funky for you. Can you hear me
Come
now?
on, Ping. Yeah, I can hear you now. There we go.
All right. So, what'd you say? What'd you do?
So, difficulty.
A difficulty of 7.
What was the difficulty I was asking for? 7? Okay. I still have to roll 2 dice. I'm guessing I'm not in the wilderness, so my specialty doesn't apply.
No.
But that is 6 successes.
Holy crap. Do you have the awareness ability?
I have a dot in it.
Can you also give me a perception and awareness roll at a difficulty of 8?
Sure, yeah. 2 successes.
Holy crap.
8 and a 10 on 4 dice.
Okay. So give me just one moment, please. You rolled high enough that something weird happens. Congrats.
Yay.
Go, Jan!
Get my own little scene up here.
Basically.
I've never seen a vampire battle in the sky. Now's the time.
Right? Now's the time. It's
Mitru's
gonna be
come back in
great.
bird form for revenge.
Ah,
No.
bird fight!
No.
Bird fight.
mean-
bird fight.
We're a little more on even playing field now.
My
right.
money's on you.
Yeah, same.
As you take to the sky, as you fly around the city, Polnock is going to guide you around the easiest places to investigate, the easiest places to see down into the alleys of Kronstadt. The city's grown quite a bit in the past 100 years, and as the wind whips around you, you can smell the piss and shit. You can smell the blood and butchered meat. You can see the rivulets of pig blood that are being dumped into one of the creeks that passes underneath the town wall. You can see in the alley a man being... Well, you thought mugged for a moment, but as you fly over, you realize it is being loved in a, aggressive yet consensual way by another man. As you pass over, you are going to see the old quarter of town. You're going to see a shop with several symbols that you will recognize as being Judaic. Merchants and moneylenders, perhaps. As you fly, you will see craftspeople. It seems safe. Now I need to know, Tereza, do you allow other vampires inside of Kronstadt? Underneath you?
Yes.
Okay. So what I need to know is, how many do you allow? How many vampires, how many canites have knelt before you? This has a population, I think that it could only handle a handful.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll.
We're going to
D10
roll.
figure out.
Well, we're going to actually roll using the additional maturation charts that I set up. So we're going to see. So I need you to roll me 3d10 and add them together.
Yeah. Wild. Absolutely wild.
What'd you roll?
So a total of 12. I rolled 2 1s and a 10. Wild.
Okay. All right. And and male or female?
Male.
Okay. And I am just going to roll 2d10. Okay, so 14. All right. As you are flying around, you are going to smell blood. And nearby, at one of the churches, a tall one that stretches up above most of the buildings, you are going to get a whiff of fresh blood and the smell of death and strong animal musk. With your raven eyes, you're going to be able to see that this church is not empty. For in fact, 100 feet above the ground, perched on top of a gargoyle, is a large black cat with blood caking its whiskers and muzzle, and it looks at you as you pass, and its eyes glow red. It cleans itself, but it has the musk of a bear clinging to it. It watches you, shrinking slightly from another predator.
I'll keep flying.
Okay.
Head towards Tereza's.
As you head toward Tereza's, there is one more thing that catches you. You swoop low through one of the poorer districts, where some of the houses are still made with thatched roofs, where the construction is wood and rough mortar, and bits of stone that were recycled from old houses generations prior. And I need you to do me a favor. Can you make me a strength check?
Difficulty?
Difficulty of 6. I need to know how low to the ground you're getting as you pass by these houses.
What is up with my dice? That's 3 successes on 3 dice.
Okay. That's beautiful. Okay, so how close are you flying over this area?
I'm probably doing like some swoops, so like coming down for a bit and then climbing back up, just so nobody gets a clear look at me, because ravens are still daytime birds. So
Fair. So as you swoop nice and low, you are going to suddenly feel a chill run up your spine, ruffle your feathers. And that's when you hit a sudden current. It's like an updraft of wind that tries to buffet you away from some of these poor houses. It almost succeeds in pushing you completely out of the way, instead just kind of brushing you aside, as if another bird collided with you in mid-flight, causing you to kind of careen off.
just barrel roll to the side and like fly over that way.
You easily right yourself with that strength roll. But around some of these houses, there is something preventing you from getting closer. And as you glance back, you're going to see a small, woven straw figure dangling from each of the awnings of these houses. And as you are looking, a woman steps out the front door of one of the houses. She's perhaps 40. Her hair is streaked with gray through the front and dangles in her face, which is beginning to become weathered in age. She's deeply tanned, but of Romanian stock. She looks around, clutching a handmade broom in her hands. And you could recognize a long, curved knife at her belt, the type designed for sacrifice, for cutting throats. And one moment, please.
Oh no.
Balls. I'm going to spend my hurt the more to make this work. These dice hate me tonight, but that's still one success. The woman turns, casts her gaze across the square where you've righted yourself, and locks eyes with you through the darkness, as if she can sense you. And in Romanian, she calls out, "None of my people." They belong to me.
I will call back in reply.
I'm glad that we understand each other. And she will wait until you leave before heading back into the
I'll fly
house.
off. Do I
Make me an
potentially
intelligence and occult roll.
Yeah. Thank you.
Or Hearth Wisdom.
Oh, hers was so much better. That's 3 10s on that roll.
Oh, that's beautiful. These
Plus a
Get a
9 and a
lottery
6.
ticket,
So
Jen.
Yeah, buy a lottery ticket tonight. These
Right.
are warding talismans. And the woman was carrying a sacrificial knife. That is often, it is a witch's tool. what she was carrying, as is the woven broom, used for warding, and in some hearth lore, doors can be blocked, places can be warded off by sweeping them, and if push comes to shove, evil creatures can be beaten with them, or they can be lit on fire using the straw.
Yep.
And often herbs are woven into the fibers as well to give them a little bit of an extra mystical punch. This is likely a will worker or a magician of some type.
Cool. Okay.
But it looks like she is only laying her claim over a small section. Given her skin tone, perhaps one of the Romani?
Okay.
And with that, you were able to easily fly out of her reach, with a little more knowledge in your head and a memory of where she was. As the rest of you head into a dining hall, the doors begin to shut as a raven, the largest that you've seen in a long time, shoots through the window, through the closing doors, and lands atop one of the sitting chairs.
And croaks loudly.
Speak
A
of
much
the devil.
smaller raven perches nearby as Paul Knock looks very tired from the chase.
I have big wings.
You have big wings, and he breathes.
Yep.
Tereza will hold out a hand for Paul Nock to come rest on. I know it's not fair. Thank you for nudging her. Alëna, your timing is impeccable.
And I think that is where we're going to take our break. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the part of the program where we, as tradition, talk to the chat. Let's put 5 minutes on the clock, and let's talk like vampires. Blah, 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 blah. Hello,
Blee,
everyone.
I just flipped to
I
a
want
page
to
in
suck your
this
blood.
in the Zamisi clan book, and it just says "sex on rooftops."
Sex on rooftops. Here, this is what the local
that's what
cows
we
look
do.
like.
Oh, yummy!
Oh, so they're
Yeah.
still doing okay.
They're fine. They're fine. They
They're
still have
fine.
one head. Unlike the Fallout cows. So I am very
Tereza's
excited.
not gotten to those cows yet.
That's true. I'm very excited
Yeah.
to be back in this game. I gotta admit, I was nervous jumping between acts because I'm like, oh, so much time has passed. But I really want to commend you all for jumping into it with both feet and immediately just being like, yes, it is. This is, time has passed and times have changed, but we're still the same people because we're undead monsters who don't change.
It's so much fun. I love this group, and I love our characters that I want to play. I missed not playing the past few weeks. I was like
too.
chomping at the bit to go tonight. I was like, I'm ready.
Can you believe this is episode 9?
Me too. It's only 9. What?
Right? I know, it feels
29,
like
yeah.
longer.
It's been 84 years.
It's been
So
116 years.
I will admit the only reason that I'm glad we had a couple of nights off of this game was so that I could work on my Vecna costume.
it's true.
It's fair. I'm
because
glad we had some nights off, but I also missed it too because
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, for sure.
The pictures have been amazing.
because Vecna Eve of Ruin is happening on Friday. At least our session 0 is. So if you want to see this group, but Kal will look suspiciously like Christine.
It's obfuscate. It's fine.
It's
Yeah,
obfuscate.
it's
It's
fine.
Christine Fuscate.
Yeah.
But so
Calfuscate?
Calfuscate. Yeah, maybe.
Confiscate.
Mhm.
So it will be a nice, fun thing that you're going to be able to enjoy. We're going to be running most Fridays. We're going to take like every 4th-ish Friday off to just have a weekend. Kind of like Critical Role does. They can do it, so can we. Hopefully, you guys aren't.
we
gonna
should
be
try
upset
and
about it.
we should try and like time it with some.
I mean,
weekends.
I have to dictate a couple of those because I will
Oh,
not
that's
be
true.
around.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
well,
You'll just
same.
get
Like
sucked-
we
you'll just
won't
get-
be
you'll
doing
just
it
get sucked into a
on
sub realm. It's fine.
the
Vecna will just
26th
be like-
because I'm going to Deadpool.
That's true. That's true. We are flying you out to the coast so that you can come see Deadpool with us for your birthday.
Nice.
Also,
Snick,
hello,
snick.
and Rolling Nomads, and hello, Dire Consequences. A couple raids that have come in
Oh, nice.
recently. Hello.
And for those who are wondering, raids on Twitch are when people bring all of their chatters to your chat. A couple people asked, what is a raid? And then some people asked, what is a sub? And ask your parents.
No,
Oh.
no, don't ask your parents.
Alternatively,
Yeah, I don't want to
Cal.
know if my parents know.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
ask
want to
me.
know my parents.
I was, okay, yeah, that's not what I meant, but fair.
Big Daddy
Your
Bastien.
parents had to do it at least once to have you.
No, they did it more than once because apparently I was difficult. So I got.
Well, and you have siblings.
Don't tell kids, oh yeah, it was difficult to like have you. It's just like, oh yeah, we were just fucking 24/7 cream pies every day for months.
Cal,
But
6 months.
I'm just saying
6
what we
months
all
it
think.
took them.
we
To be
weren't thinking
consoled.
about Robin's parents doing that. No.
I was.
Oh my gosh.
Cal, this is why
I'm
we're
gonna,
friends.
I'm gonna
because-
X this conversation. We're gonna move on.
X card,
All
X
right,
card, move
can we-
on.
And this is a consent tool workshop where you learn the X card.
Yeah.
Congrats. Thanks, Cal, for being a facilitator. Whew.
Also,
Cal
yes, Random Equinox points out, yes, subs are sandwiches. I love a good
a sandwich.
sandwich.
I hear they're types of underwater vessel, but I hear they're not as good as they used to be.
I mean, it depends on if you rush the
in-
testing process of it. Yeah.
Casters and castles as well. Welcome. You guys just missed the worst part of the episode. Great. We're just talking to the chat for like 2 more minutes. Jen.
I was gonna say, in How I Met Your Mother, sandwiches was weed, so there's that.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes.
That's fair. That's fair. I just really want a sandwich right now, like actual sandwich.
Me too.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm very hungry.
Speaking of snacks, it's been about 5 minutes.
It's been about
It's
5.
snack
Well,
o'clock.
I'm going to let
Snack
you guys know
o'clock.
a couple of special things, though, before we head back in. Like I said before, Vecna Eve of Ruin is Friday. Come join us for that. It is a sure book that I'm going to be running. It sure is a thing. So we're doing session 0. You're going to meet the characters. You get to look at all the really cool stuff that our graphic designer Michael made for us, and you get to have some fun. The opening credits are not quite done yet. It's a session 0. They don't have to be. And then besides that, we are starting the next week, so you can join us on that campaign. Besides that, you also will be able to join us on Saturday night for Mage: The Ascension of the Victorian Age, if I'm not mistaken. My contact lens is having issues. 1 second. And then Sunday we are back with Planescape, and I think I got it. Do I have something Sunday night?
No, we don't have a double
No,
feature.
Sunday's
It's
off.
great.
All right,
It's a
'cause
long
like,
weekend.
Oh, that's right. Zero Sum is next week.
Yeah.
That's right.
which I actually have a
Ah.
plot for now, which is great.
Yay! I love it when you have plots for the game I'm in.
It came to me the day after Zero Sum was supposed to happen.
Why
Of
is there a
course.
spider?
Thanks, brain.
Why is there a spider right there?
Oh, sorry. I can come and get that back.
Can you get that? Like, please?
Yeah.
Use your tongue. Just go.
Ew! No! X card this conversation.
All right, fine.
I'll bring Apollo, and he can eat the
about a
bug
cat?
snake.
Yeah, cats eating bugs is fine.
Yeah.
It's just really funny because it's always the exact same type of spider, and I always just gently throw them outside, and then it looks like the same guy just came back in, and I'm like, what the hell, man? They're the ones
It's
with
probably
like,
the same one. You don't like spiders, huh?
What?
Huh? You don't like them, huh?
I don't love them. I don't like them in my space.
I don't like them on me.
Yeah, nobody likes
don't-
spiders. Well, it's not.
Yeah, I don't like them on me unless they're like the big enough that you can just kind of hold them in your palm, sort of like tarantula
When they're pets.
style.
Oh,
Yeah, when they're pets. I don't really like those, but I can handle those better. One day I had one that ran like right up here, and I was like, no, away with
Yeah.
you. But if they're getting other bugs out of my space, like in windowsills or like window frames and stuff, they can stay there. That's fine.
Yeah, some of the people at work, I don't. I'm not a huge fan, but like some of the people at work are always freaking out when a spider's there or one of the little European wall lizards gets in. And
Oh, dude,
like,
I love the wall lizards.
I
Lizards
love
are so-
those, especially
We
like
have
the
lizards
really,
out
really
in like the
little tiny
garden
ones.
area here,
Yeah.
and like they're.
Yeah.
I touched one the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
look
all
at
over
the
the
tail.
place near your place, Kelly.
I've gotten
Yeah.
like I tend to be the person that gets like, oh my god, there's this thing here in the office, because I try and I told them to tell me so that I can try and catch it and get it outside, and like those little tiny ones, they have a death wish. Like I'm a tall boy, and like I managed to catch one in my bare hands, like one of the
What, a
really
lizard?
tiny super fat, and I had it there, and it squeezed out of my hands as I'm like walking out the door to take it into like the flower pot outside, and I'm like, oh no, and it just goes whoosh.
Does it
Just
climb up
like-
your shirt
I
or
was like,
something?
no, it just ran off my hand and jumped when my
Oh.
hand was kind of like this because I was trying to catch
You
it.
should
and-
always pick up small animals, particularly venomous ones, because that's how you get superpowers.
Oh, I missed my
Yeah.
chance. I had one shot.
You had one shot, one
Ah, yes,
opportunity.
yes.
You
One
could have been Spaghetti
opportunity.
Man. All right, folks, it is about time for us to head back into game. Be sure to join us for all
You
sorts
failed.
of things. Also, what? Oh, the opportunity. Yeah. Well, it happens. So we're going to be heading back into game. We hope that you join us for more Transylvania Chronicles. And hey, this is my request. Join the Patreon, because I want you to. And it makes me happy. And also, it makes me money. But mostly happy. But also money. So join the Patreon. It's a great place to be. I'm there. So are all
I'm
of
there.
them.
Anissa's there. That's how we got to see a sneak peek of the Vecna stuff.
Yeah. Do it. All right.
my God,
Any
I'm
last
so
things
pumped
before we
for
hop
that.
back in?
So pumped for Vecna.
Also, if you
And for snacks.
if you had a chance to drink the cherry lime Sprite Zero, it's pretty good.
I'm pretty jelly. Cherry lime.
I'm currently drinking the cherry limeade rain energy drink, which is also
is that?
delicious. It's so good. It's my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might steal one from you. Oh, Jen,
Yeah.
are you I'm gonna make plans with you live on the air real quick. Are you free on
Yeah, yeah.
Friday at all?
Technically, yes, if you come to me.
Can I drop your birthday presents off like early in the morning? Because the replacement ones just got here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're Gemini?
Oh, yay. I'll give you a rain energy drink.
Yeah, there we go. I'll trade you. I got you like so much crap. I also got you that
Yeah, yeah.
T-shirt at Calgary, and I got you the one you wanted.
Yay.
And then I went back and
Yeah, let
bought
me
the
know
one that
what I owe you for that.
I was like $30. It's not a big deal. And then yeah, I'm really excited. Plus, I've got a copy of Old Gods of Appalachia. You wanted Old Gods?
Yes, I wanted the actual copy of the physical
Because
copy of it.
Monty Cook sent us a bunch of books and to run
It's
the
so
game with. It's
pretty.
great. It's such a pretty freaking book. And yeah. All right, so folks, we're going to head back into game. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the Transylvania Chronicles. And blah. All right. Hello and welcome back to the Transylvania Chronicles here on Dork Tales. After Alëna arrives, you all settle in. A fire is warming the room in the corner, far away from you. And in the distance, a harp is being strummed by one of Tereza's handmaidens, Anna Maria.
Hey, Kelly.
She gently... Sorry?
To interrupt your description for a minute, I have to point out that Alëna smells like damp earth.
Okay.
She didn't smell like this 100 years ago.
All right. So, the smell of damp earth permeates this gathering as a harp is gently played. In the room are several attendants, all with beautiful black hair. All with the same dark eyes. All dressed to match each other. And as well, there is a small but well-curated cornucopia of guests waiting for you to sup on. Tereza, what is on the menu tonight?
Perfect. We have the finest selection. Our guest starts playing in the background. So because of Tereza's history, they are actually all male. Tereza has scoured the grimiest backwater prison tavern, is it prison or jail back then? Keeps, like, basically she's gotten the scummiest men that she can find. Yeah, dungeons, that's right.
So you have rapists, murderers, thieves, and highwaymen.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. So Tereza has a lovely cornucopia of them at the table. They've all been washed and bathed, of course.
Now I have
Tereza
to ask,
will not drink.
How are they presented? Are they bound? Are they gagged?
Oh, they're
And-
100% gagged.
And a quick question as well. Are they presented such that someone has to dirty their mouth on them? Or did you pay for additional luxury?
What do you mean by that?
Would you have paid for greater presentation? Or would you leave them there to be drained by Fang?
No, she would have paid for there to be greater presentation.
Fantastic. Then what you will see is that each of them is sat alongside one side of the table, as if they were guests. However, I'm certain that you probably lulled them with your animalism, quelling their beasts, quelling their minds. They are strapped down with leather lashings at the hands and the feet, like sometime in the future would be seen by those witnessing an electrocution. And around each of their throats is an iron collar lined with leather, with a keg screw drilled into their jugulars for easy access to tap them. Do you do anything, say anything, to introduce your guests, your meal,
Of
or do you
course.
just let them enjoy and sample the vintages?
She will go to she'll probably go to one seated at the head of the table that's going to be specifically Tereza's. One particularly gross, vile man who did unspeakable things to young women, because that's who Tereza loves to feed off of. And so she'll go to her part at the head of the table, and she will. Now, I know, Alëna, you typically. You prefer prey, but. And if you do not wish to have any of my guests here, I have arranged something that might be more of your taste, so please do not force yourself, and you will not insult me. We are long friends. But these are some of the most vile, mean men, and Rainald, I know things have been hard for you and your faith, but you are still the greatest priest in my mind, and some of these men may want to repent before you. And I think you would be the perfect fit for some of these. But please, my friends, we have not been together in this manner for quite some time. And I long for conversation, and I long for us to take a look at this marvel that we are being presented with from Zelios. But first we must dine, and I just want to welcome you. We have come a long way.
As she says this, you can see the subject of tonight's meeting lying on a nearby table, propped up gently by a small slant of wood, like one would position a Bible. It is an ancient, stiffened brown book. The binding, a heavy cord. It looms in the corner, like an awkward guest, out of the corner of each of your eyes. And Bastien, you are going to find this particularly difficult not just to run over and look through it. Your blood screams at you of the secrets that must be inside. And I would like you to make me a willpower roll, please, to not do so.
What was the difficulty on the willpower?
Difficulty of 6. Oh, actually, pardon me. Let me double check your difficulty, because I have to admit I do love my Salubri, but I don't always I don't know this one. Difficulty 6.
That's it. Easy, I say, as I got 5.
5 successes?
Yeah.
All right, so you must succeed a willpower roll, or to pass up an opportunity to acquire study and knowledge of your field, or lose 2 dice from all pools for the remainder of the night. So you will not lose those dice yet, but should you leave the scene without looking through that book, you will. With 5 successes, you are going to be able just to keep an eye on it like a beautiful stranger across a bar.
He has 2 more to use, so it's fine.
I'm going to grab a glass and fill up with something red and wonderful. And Lady Tereza, you go out of your way to make sure that we are all accommodated, and not just your hospitality, but your friendship and help over the years has been incredibly appreciated. It is good to see all of you again. I look forward to looking at the book, but also catching up. Thank you.
Alëna is going to shift back into actual vampire form, but she is also going to kind of perch awkwardly on a seat and not go for any of the snacks.
All right. The room floods with the smell of blood and dirt as she shifts back into her form, taking up an even greater size. Does anyone look particularly different than they did 100 years ago?
A little.
A little?
Yeah, a little. I got a third eye.
This is true?
We
This is
we
true.
saw that 100 years ago.
That's true, but now he's showing it off. He's not hiding it. He's amongst y'all.
Rainald still looks remarkably human. He still has blush of health, so kind of still looks like some rosy cheeks and hasn't gotten that much paler.
Interesting.
Alëna looks the same as she did, maybe a little more gaunt, or maybe that's just the way the shadows are kind of playing on her. But she does give off this sense of being so much more uncomfortable being in this space than she did before.
Excellent. And
Tereza looks pretty similar as to what she looked before. Yeah. She doesn't look a ton different right now.
besides that, you enjoy a meal. What do you talk about as the time passes?
I would just
My
love
escapades.
I'd just love to listen to what others have done over this time. Bastien, Lady Tereza, although you can see from the tapestry what she's been up to, and Alëna, just to find out more about how they've been spending however long since the last time I saw them.
So what has everyone been up to? Papa took me with him, Lena says, to look at the heathens in the east.
Did you two manage to do much converting in that time?
We sent many of them to God.
It pains me to say this, but we may have a They face death with less fear than us Christians. Well, mortal Christians. They welcome it. And upon reading some of the... I'm still learning the languages, which there seem to be multiple. They seem to have commonality.
Papa,
Quite interesting. Yes.
can I tell them about the pit?
You want to tell them about the pit?
It was interesting.
Go ahead.
We were traveling through the heathen lands, where the ground turns into sand, and we came upon a well. It was inside of a village, full of dead and bloated corpses. Everyone was dead. Plague or something else, a blight from God. But there were no young people. All of the dead were old. And so Papa thought that perhaps they had all been taken away or enslaved or gone off to war. But I still drank water. And when we went to the well to draw some, it was empty of water. But not of bodies. There were many bodies down at the bottom. And the boys and girls down there gave birth to flies. A cloud of them. As big as a beehive. And not a drop of blood among them.
Sounds truly horrific.
It was. We looked around for who did it for how many years, Papa?
I do not remember how many seasons passed. Or what kind of beings were capable of such a thing.
Can you do me a favor, Bastien? As you
Yes.
plumb the depths of your memory, can I get you to make me an intelligence and a cult? Do you have a cult? You do have a cult, of course.
I sure do.
As you do, make me an intelligence and occult roll at a difficulty of 9 as you are thinking and saying that. There is going to be the sound of a clatter as Tereza turns a spigot and the highwayman at the end of the table's face collides with a plate.
Let's spend a willpower. That adds 3, correct?
Yes.
Uh,
No,
Three to
willpower is an automatic success.
Yeah.
Right, what am I getting?
You're thinking
I'm
Chronicles
thinking
or
of
Dark
Changeling.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I was thinking
Chronicles, yeah,
Changeling.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Same thing.
All right, 10 and 1. I see you guys always show up at the same time.
Okay,
Oh, what
you
was
have-
the difficulty?
Difficulty is 9, but with
9.
With that willpower, you'll get 1 success.
And I got a 10, which is again. If-
Only if you have a specialty.
I have a specialty, and I don't.
You do not. So, as you remember, there is one name that pops into your memory of a creature that could have done something like this.
Do any of you know of Bali?
Same roll.
Same roll, please. Intelligence and occult. Difficulty of 9.
And this is
7 for me.
This is vampire history, is it not?
It is
Can I
vampire
add my
history.
merit that is about vampire history?
Yes, you may.
Yay.
How's that merit
Would
work? That sounds
politics
great.
for vampire history work a bit better or no?
Not for this. This is deep lore.
Cats all just roll a cult.
That'll be 4.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
You know quite a bit about the Bali.
Fail.
Fail? You've not heard of them.
Mhm.
That's great. When you were describing that situation, I was just like, oh, it's the fucking ballet.
A little bit, right? A little bit. Let's find out what Jen got. So there's difficulty 9, but she has a merit. Let's see what that
2
does.
successes.
Legends hold the Bali to be the first bloodline to stand apart from the clans, a tainted and cancerous lineage plaguing society from the time of the Second City. As for what progenitor sired the wicked line of Infernalists, none can say. Some believe it was the Zamisi, while others say that the Tremere say that it was the Salubri. The Malkavians tend to refuse to speak of it at all. They are infernalists, devils. They are the closest thing to the that vampires have to the Sith in many ways. Infighting and factionalism destroyed them, and they were actively hunted by the Salubri for quite some time in their heyday. That is where your knowledge will end, Alëna. Whereas Rainald, you will have greater knowledge. Still, you know that the Bali use a strange type of magic that allows them to summon demons, that allows them to call upon infernal might. And even there, you know that they have ties to the La Sombra. There are La Sombra infernalists that sometimes truck with the Bali. However, this tale that you have heard from Bastien and Lena sounds like something that is very much one of them. For the Bali often rely on insects and crawling things, and many of them, you've heard these rumors, use their bodies as hives and nests to be brood mothers and fathers.
Alëna starts speaking in a quiet voice, but there's a rhythm to what she's saying, as though she's trying to remember something, and it's in a more poetic rhythm than she would normally speak. In the shadowed realms where darkness reigns, where fire and brimstone sear the plains, the Bali tread in twilight shade, a pact with demons darkly made. The clans of Cain and fear beware, for Bali's touch corrupts the air. Their hearts are voids, their souls entwined with entities of dark designed. So hear this tale, O kindred wise, of Bali's guile and endless lies. In midnight's veil their secrets keep, a nightmare waking, dark and deep.
Holy shit, Jen.
Right?
Oh. That was awesome.
I like her. I missed her.
Terrifying.
I've missed
Scald.
her too.
I've heard stories. Many stories.
That's There are... We... and some of our beliefs might be different. But I believe that we are meant to be the fear of God in people, to be the boogeymen in the night. The Bali... I don't think I could put it better than Alëna did. They traffic in demons and all things that crawl.
I was in those lands, and I met with others that drew their blades, but even I dare say all of the company here as well would not do that to that village.
They, from what I know, they make use of insects. For some of their dark rituals. It is...
If I'm insects and dark, if I may, Tereza, I don't wish to take advantage of your hospitality, but it intrigues me to no end to have a gander upon this book you present.
Bastien, your one eye has not been able to leave that gaze. We need not to torture your curiosity any longer. And after that, I think it's time, if we have the time, to show you a new addition I've made to my house, my home, and my surprise for Alëna that I think she might enjoy.
When we
But
part,
first,
if you find more information out about them, I would very much like to be of assistance, Bastien. They are accursed creatures. More so than even us.
As you say that, thunder rolls overhead as the strange storms that have been plaguing the land pick up once more. Rain buffets the ceiling, and you can hear it even through the solid stone construction of the building. And in the corner of the room, the book looms. Do you approach it?
I will.
The tome is heavy, made of brown, stiffened leather. The pages are vellum, sewn into the binding with a heavy cord. Apparently, it is a church treatise on various pagan religions. And as you gather round, you can see that it speaks of the ancient gods of the Slavs and the Vlachs. In places, rot has crept in. The pages are moldy, mildewed, spored, and cast small puffs of gray-green into the air as you turn the pages. In others, water has smeared the ink, obliterating whole passages. As you flip through the book, you will eventually find a portion that speaks to you. It speaks of the name that Zelios mentioned when you last met. Kupala. Legible portions that you can read are as follows. Svarog, Bilibog, and chief among them the demon god Kupala, whose offspring infuse the very soil with madness. His dark heart ripped asunder, the demon is said to rest beneath the Carpathians, haunting the lands and spreading his corruption to all who touch upon his dread domain. It is whispered that the demon sleeps, gaining strength to rise in terrible wrath when at last he wakens. His burning malice is seen in the creation of a legendary blood-red bloom known as the sacred fire flower of Kupala. With it, sorcerers may bind or loose demons. The cult dedicated to this abhorrent spirit gifts the demon with sacrifices, slaying babes for their pure and innocent blood, which the demon consumes. Thus fortified, Kupala's corruption spreads even further, trailing lunacy in its wake. The quaking of the earth, the foul rains and lightning strikes as you read that passage, that destroys crops and homes, the great windstorms that tear the fields and forests asunder, all of these speak with the demon's voice. May God grant that we discover. And at that point, the section becomes illegible once more.
Certainly a bit ominous.
Thunder crackles again. And as you all let the words of the page digest, looking around at each other, thinking the same thought, the strange weather, the plagues, the famines, you hear the sound of a door open in the distance. And the sound of hurried steps. You cannot, you can't, you, my lady, you hear Philippe's voice, the real Philippe this time. He pushes into the room. My lady, I'm sorry. You have a visitor. I tried to... And as he says that, on his heels, not waiting to be admitted in the proper manner, stalks a tall, well-muscled man with unkempt, bushy hair and a wild red beard. His blue eyes seem to glow with passion and power. He wears a brown tunic and an old-style cross-gartered leggings. Over the tunic rests a poorly fitted Roman breastplate, and in his left hand he carries a spear. Your servant looks distressed. Your pardon, I could not keep him out. I would like everybody here to make me a perception and alertness roll at a difficulty of 7.
Would intuitive apply for this?
No.
Okay.
How about vibes?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, because intuitive is for like if he's like I was using it for bonuses on like attacking, so if but I
That'll
don't
be
think
a
that's
big
what we're
fat
looking
0.
Okay.
3
What was
for
the
me.
difficulty?
Difficulty 7.
Wow.
Wow.
4 1s, a 2, a 3, and a 6.
That's beautiful.
Wow. That's a
So-
big ass pool for me too.
I have a big ass pool, and I rolled
That's
a
like
lot of 3s and
quadruple
4s.
botch.
I have 1 success.
You have 1 success.
Yeah, I got
1 success.
1.
Bastien, with a botch, you are sure that this man is another kindred in disguise, and that this is some type of prank. You actually think it might be Adrajai come to visit in the garb of some lunatic. For some reason, this seems very logical to you. Tereza and Alëna. Alëna, you will immediately recognize this man. This is the madman that confronted you over 100 years ago on the streets of Pest. The one who summoned a mob down at you. Tereza, you will recognize him after. But Rainald, you cannot place this madman.
Can I react?
You may, yes.
All I want to do, I'm not going to attack or anything. All I want to do is kind of pull myself up, almost like I'm trying to be bigger, and position myself specifically between Tereza and him.
Okay. He speaks to you in heavily accented Romanian. He stops as soon as he sees you. In his hand, he's carrying a spear, which he grinds into the floor. And he points a filthy finger at you. Hear me. Though I long ago warned thee, thou hast done nothing to quell the demon's awakening. The first of his signs has seen fulfillment, and yet you wait. Will you remain idle while the land's heart is ripped from its bleeding chest? Do you not see the eternal night is almost upon us? He stirs, and with him the ancient ones groan on their stony beds, and their hunger shrieking for our vitae. The loss of a holy land, the breaking of a holy order, and the downfall of a mighty magus. The sign is come, the first of those that lead to an ever-blackening and death eternal. You stand with the whirlwind. 7 more remain. That what cannot be stopped will be transformed. On you rests our redemption or destruction. Do not fail me again. And as he says that, he collapses to the ground and begins writhing, his back bent over in reverse like a clutched hand. His fangs exposed. Were he immortal, you would have heard the snap of his spine multiple times as he begins convorting and jerking and spasming and frothing bloody foam at the mouth. What do you do?
Can I try and Song of Serenity him?
Yes, you may.
Tereza's gonna walk over to him and try and use her foot, step on his chest to try and hold him down, and then look at him and just calm yourself.
Okay, and what is the difficulty for that again? Please remind me.
It is difficulty 7 and I roll manipulation and intimidation.
Do you have to spend a willpower if it's a kindred?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
All right, then go ahead.
It's if they're already in frenzy, then it doesn't. It helps, but not a ton. It helps more if they're like out of frenzy.
I'm going to use Gift of Sleep on him.
Okay.
I'm going to prepare for an attack just in case. That's what I'm doing.
Sounds beautiful. Let's roll Robin's first.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a willpower to get a success here. So manipulation and intimidation, because I actually took dots in intimidation now. Good girl, Tereza. And difficulty 7.
So Gift of Sleep does not work on vampires. Just so you know, Bastien. I just checked.
Oh.
3 successes.
All right.
It's a willpower roll, so I don't know what his willpower is at.
It is a willpower roll or difficulty of his willpower?
My difficulty is I have to get his willpower.
In successes?
Yeah, but I can extend this action to continue gaining
Okay.
successes. But yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So you got
So
3 successes?
3. Yeah.
Okay. Suddenly, as you use the power on him and you all crowd forward, ready to strike if he moves, he stops, cavorting, contorting, and then slowly sits up and looks around, blinking at you. He furrows his bushy red brows at you. And can I get a perception and empathy?
Ooh.
Is this no empathy gang again?
Once again.
No,
this
I
is
have a
lots of
dot of
empathy,
empathy. I have a dot of empathy in
Okay.
this character.
Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6.
3.
Holy shit, that's a lot of 10s.
Nice.
2
6,
successes.
baby.
6.
Yeah.
Several of around the room, several of your men-at-arms and even some of the women have weapons drawn, or at least their hands on their weapons, just in case, Tereza. Lena is watching from a chair with a look of confused fun. But everyone who got a success is going to get the sense that he does not recognize you at all. And is very confused. Bastien, you have seen fits like this before, and with 6 successes, you know that he just came out of some type of thrall. Touched by an angel or a demon or something like that, and is now as dangerous as you decide to make him. But he is looking at you with a confused... Where am I?
Good work, Lady Tereza. You do not recall your entrance?
No, I am... Where am I?
Kronstadt.
Kronstadt. That is very far away from my home. I am in
What?
the Carpathians.
Trey's
You were
gonna
as if
cast a
possessed.
glance at him and then the book and kind of
you were in a trance.
Oh. The demon has taken control again. He does that sometimes.
What's demon?
Kupala. This ancient being I am somehow bound to. He sends me visions of the future. He tortures me. I am ruled. I am in your home. I am Octavio. I am...
Tereza Dinescu, and In my city, I am Prince of Kronstadt.
Kronstadt. I come from Obuda, which is what it is called now. But when I was a child, it was a Quincum. A much greater name. Anybody who wants to make me an intelligence and academics roll? Difficulty 7, to know what the hell this is.
What is
Oh.
academics?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I'll have to get Tereza to teach me some of that.
Right.
Hmm.
Does philosophy
History specifically.
2.
can I roll if
Yeah,
my
you can
academics?
still make the roll.
Okay. Difficulty?
Difficulty of 7.
Okay.
Yeah, academics is one of those area of expertise ones that kind of dumb because it's like, but I could know a bunch of things.
Mhm.
I'm gonna allow
I
us
rolled
to...
a 7 and a 1, so fail.
Yeah.
That's
Fail.
actually like I like how they did it in this one.
Yeah.
So, Tereza, you know enough to know, even with that fail, that Obuda is a town in Hungary.
Okay.
So, like, it's distant, but, like, it's similar. Like, you've been through there before in that region.
Yeah.
Rainald, you are going to know that Aquincum was Obuda's former name back when it was an outpost of the Roman Empire. This kindred is likely quite old. Quite very, very old, one might say.
Oh,
At least nearly 1,000 years.
I'll
You
look
seem
at
familiar.
the others. And be like, you have been around for a very long time, have you not?
Yes.
That's a old Roman outpost, I believe.
Yes. This is where I got this. He hits the Roman breastplate he's wearing. Still good?
Adroshai, is that you?
I know of this Adrojai. He is of my blood. I am not him. I have not been him before.
Oh. You have an air of familiarity about you.
You have...
Bastien, are you well?
Yes, Bastien, I'm currently wondering about your sanity as well at this point.
Only at this point?
Right now. You've only
Oh.
been here for 60 minutes, maybe.
You did not seem surprised when I talked about demons.
It is very interesting
Fitting
that
for
you...
our topic of conversation tonight.
Why?
Yes.
Why is it fitting?
We were just
Do
talking
you-
about various kinds of demons. Sorry.
I was just going to wonder if you recognize this book.
There are many books.
Glances. Tereza waves to the book on the stand.
It is dirty. I do not read
It
many...
is talking about Cupola.
This is the Cobrathians.
Yes.
He is... My prince, he has cursed your land. Eat. I do not know whether or not it has a Schwanz or a Yoni. So I say it. But the demon has infected your lands. It curses you. And he sends me these damnable visions. Cannot make hide nor hair of them.
So,
I just know the
seems
signs.
You have
And-
brought us a problem and a solution.
What are those
Eh?
signs?
The signs I know now are, and there shall come to pass the loss of a holy land, the breaking of a holy order, and the downfall of a mighty magus. I do not know, because I cannot make out the face of the magus. It shifts like mist, or like river clay. But I think the Holy Land is the Levant, the Holy Land, which was lost a generation ago. And the breaking of the Holy Order, I have had vision after vision after vision of the Knights Templar being burned at the stake. This city used to have knights. Did it not?
Yes. Yes, my bodyguard, Dominic, was trained with them. They helped me gain a lot of my domain here.
The other sign that I know is the passing of years and fires of the righteous shall bring upon the parting of kin. One from the other, the children shall revile their parents, slaying them in their beds, and brother shall smite brother. I do not know what it means. It is cloudy.
Seems like something that we should try to stop.
My prince.
Yes.
Might a poor traveler seek sanctuary in one's home or city? I fear that the dawn is sooner than I want. I would stay. Would you let me?
What sort of host would I be if I did not offer sanctuary to those that requested it?
Glory days. I will make myself useful. And will feed only where allowed. You wish? You wish to stop it, though? All of you?
I certainly
Well.
would like to remove these curses upon my lands. The cattle are not surviving, and then my cattle that I feed upon will soon go hungry and starve as well. And then where are we without our source?
Praise be to the ones who brought me to you. You do not know how long I have searched for allies in my war.
Perhaps, Lady Tereza, it might be good to arrange for some help to take this man to a place where he can safely spend the night.
Yes. Philip?
Yes, mistress.
Grab
way.
Theodore and Caesar and show this guest to his quarters.
Of course, my lady. And the men will stand up and begin to guide Octavio away. And as he is pulled away, you can hear him shouting and laughing. Finally!
Actually, before he's dropped out, Tereza will actually get a glass for him to on his way as well. She will give him a nice big goblet.
Yes. A toast. To my allies, to my friends. And to the end of Coppola. And I think that is where we're going to call game for the night. So hey folks, we're back!
Woo! We're back, baby!
So, and by the way, this is what Octavio looks like when he's, like, in his clothes.
Not crazy?
Well,
Nice.
no, he's pretty crazy. He's still.
Well, it's pretty
like
crazy, but he's
Octavian.
not... I do too. I think he's gonna be great.
It's good. Good. I didn't have to dub myself.
I
over
knew
6
who it
times.
was, but
Oh, you're smarter than Bastien.
yeah.
I remember
think
that
everybody
scene
here
because I
is.
was worried about my life.
Right. Right.
I remember that scene because he was one of the potential people to be my sires.
This is true. He could have been your sire.
Imagine.
Imagine all the vampires. All right. So, how many XP did you guys get bought this game? 2 or 3?
I think I only saw 2 in the chat.
Well, welcome to. That's going to give you 5 XP.
Oh.
So there you go. Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back next week, but we got a plenty more World of Darkness content for you. So much World of Darkness content. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to love it. It's going to be your favorite, because you're my favorite. I'm really looking forward to continuing to play this Chronicle. It's always so much fun to just kind of... Oh, I still got the sound effects going of the rain. It's very relaxing.
It's very relaxing, yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm very sleepy. But I love being here with you guys. Thank you so much for letting us do this and for keeping our lights on here, especially our patrons over at patreon.com/dorkdales, where you can support the stream directly. You can support them like our divine producer, my mom. Hey, mom. Our demonic producers, Precarious and Mysterium MK, our wizards of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric, the Ink Goblin and Sorcerer Sanguine, our Monster Maker, Soul Omen, our High Council of the Patreon, Taryn, Dustin, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Karasha, Urquhart, Chef Elideth, Larook, Mike Baxter, Kelowna Kurd, Iridian, Brian Kaler, and Nerdy Metal Gent. Y'all are fantastic, and I love you. Thank you so much for supporting us and for keeping us on the air. We'll be back tomorrow night with Changeling the Lost. Good night, everyone. Bleh.